Hi everyone, Nadia here. There's so much that I want to share. Next month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Next month, Mother's Day happens. Next week is Survivors Week. And I have all of these thoughts in my head and all these things that I hope to share, just to offer healing, to offer a safe space that is judgment-free, where anybody can come and learn skills and ways to create a home within. Creating a home within didn't happen overnight, and I am no guru. It took time. And the things that I share in the book and the things that I share here are all learnings that come from trauma therapy, from 12-step work, from A Course in Miracles, and from living the work and sharing how I walk through things on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. And so here I want to offer a space. How are you doing today? What is the mantra, the message that is in your head today? One that I often use is, I am not a body, nor the thoughts my mind makes. How has that helped me in the last several days? For me, it's like the most basic understanding. And I say these things that sound very spiritual. They are for me like we are all infinite beings, whole, divine, and complete in our truest form. All of us are. And how our mind creates what I refer to as attack thoughts that separate us from that truth. I say attack because they attack us within. The most vehement, strongest feeling is shame. Most of these thoughts come from fear. So when there's anything outside us that is threatening, quote unquote, our roles, our sense of purpose in this life, we have these thoughts that are fear-based and that say things like, I am anxious right now, I'm not being compassionate right now, or I am failing right now. And thoughts like those separate us from the fact that we are merely doing our best in any given moment. And when we can step back and just say, okay, I am not a body, nor these thoughts, we can ground ourselves and be compassionate with self, have that self-love, and do that first step of spiritually advocating for ourselves. When we remember that we are not bodies nor our thoughts, we can then see when others are in their own fears and judgments and projecting theirs. What do I mean by all of this? In the last 48 hours, I'm going to share some things that I have gone through, that in creating awareness of these attack thoughts and in regrounding in this home within, how it helped me to not run in the fears and judgments that used to cause me to reach for a drink or to have maybe a trauma flashback of the sort. So as you're joining here, again, next month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and next month also holds Mother's Day. Next week is Survivors Week, and all of these things are opportunities to think about a lot. What does it mean to be a survivor? What does mental health mean to you? What does your mother, what does a mother having a home, having a mother mean to you? So starting on Friday evening, Friday was my birthday, and my mom came here, and then we had dinner with the twins and my ex. And that's a lot of energy around me. And I had some grounding practice in the morning. And what happens when I am managing an elderly mom and her own fears, and then my twins and the dynamics between them, is I get into a space that has to be in a kind of survival managing mode. And by the time the evening came and one of the twins was throwing up and we were ready for bedtime and I had gotten my mom situated, in the evening I had managed all of that and was in so much gratitude for a beautiful birthday. One of the others was responding to the sickness of one of the twins with a lot of anxiety. My mom was responding with a lot of anxiety. And walking through all of that and kind of able to get everybody situated by the time we were asleep, there was not very good sleep. The morning came and we woke up and my mom, we were making breakfast together, and then my mom began expressing a lot of her fears with her death. And her hearing and her eyesight is failing, and when she began saying things like she didn't want to live anymore if she couldn't see anymore, while I'm managing the twins and we're making breakfast, I lost some of my grounding. And I began to feel a lot of anxiety and how her words were affecting the little ones. And I said to my mom, we cannot speak that way in front of the little ones. And she began to get in her own head made shame of saying, you know, I need to be able to express these things and I'm sorry, and got very emotional. And the twins ran outside in their own anxiety, and it was a moment where I really had to work to take aside time, come upstairs in my own space, look outside at the ocean and ground myself and realize little ones are in their own fears. My mom is in her own fears. Where are you at, Nadia? What is going on in your head? I was in my own fears. My own fears as a mother, my own shaming coming up as a mother. I was in my own judgments and fears, in shame of I am failing my mom and am I failing my children? But most importantly, was I failing myself? So I took a few moments to breathe and to ground and to return to what I call a home within. A home within is a space where love is the choice. In choosing love, I remember we are all infinitely divine, whole, and complete. All of us are doing our best in a mind and in a body. From that space, Nadia, how can you now go downstairs and interact with your mother? How can you now go interact with your sons? From that grounding, shame had no chance. Judgment within had no chance. I went downstairs and I looked my mom in the eye and I said, I know you are in fear. I know you are in fear, Mom. Right here is a safe place. And once she heard that, after several minutes, I was able to say, when you are in those fears, take my hands and speak directly to me. It's hard for the little ones to hear words like you don't want to live anymore, but here you can say it to me. There is no shame, Mom, in your having those thoughts. Please don't feel bad for expressing them. And together we were able to get to a safe place. Now with my little ones, I had to view it as an opportunity to educate them about the fact that aging is hard. That when they see their grandmother having these thoughts and having these fears, to please not judge her, to say, my grandmother is in her own fears. How can we join my mom in embracing her? What a complicated thing to navigate, right? But the one thing that I can say, none of this can be navigated without awareness that we are not our thoughts, that we are not our bodies. None of it. Another hour passed, we ate breakfast, and all of us felt calm and a little safe. And then the song Ave Maria came on. Now that is, for some, seen as a religious song. Yet this version that I'm going to play here for you is so deeply beautiful. And as I was driving my mom back home this morning, she stayed a whole day and we had a lot of time outside and out on the beach playing, and her and I had alone time yesterday evening and this morning. The song and the whole representation of Mary Magdalene came in mind. Mary Magdalene has a fascinating story in history. Why is it that her story has this connection to her fall from grace? Why? Mary Magdalene is seen as the mother of Jesus. She's also viewed as quote unquote a whore. Why did all that evolve? Why? Mary Magdalene is a mother, a woman, who in some way or another from the outside sources of shaming was branded. And I thought about her. I thought about her soul, and I thought, did she know her truth? Yes. She sat by the side in the last days as Jesus' companion. Whether you believe in any of that or not, this is just factual stuff I'm talking here. The truth of the matter is, when connected to our truth and in choosing love, which she so bravely chose, none of the outside branding mattered. It is us that created a shaming version. Call her a whore, call her the mother of Jesus. None of that matters. Because we are not our bodies, we are not our thoughts. Mary Magdalene represented love. And as that song played on our way back as I was driving my mother home, I realized so clearly what a message from the universe all of that was as we're entering Mental Health Awareness Month. as we're entering May that holds Mother's Day, and as we're entering Survivor's Week next week. Every day we have a choice between love and fear or judgment. Choosing love is to remember our truest forms in self, and that is that we are whole, perfect, and complete beings. When we become aware of our attack thoughts that separate us from that one truth, attack thoughts being our fears and our judgments, when we sit back and remember that nothing can stand in the way of having a spiritual awakening, of building a home within, of connecting to our truest form. On the other hand, when we are choosing fear and judgment, shaming and shame have a chance of winning. Today, right here, right now, where are you? What is your mantra to remember to be aware of attack thoughts that separate you? What are they? Are there fears? Is there judgment of others? Maybe what is the mantra that will help you connect to the truth of what you are and choose love? Slowly but surely, you will get to a place where you will notice the fear and judgments. And like me, it took a bit of a disassociated survival mode in the last 48 hours in managing my mom and my twins. Yet there was always this middle ground functioning where I never let fear and judgment control. I never let it go into shame within my head or shaming of others. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am no guru. From the depths of darkness, from treatment, jail, hospitalizations, suicidality, it took years of recovery work to get to this place. Here, you will hear lessons of living the work, just like I shared. Here, you will hear real, true stories that hopefully will help you to ban the shame within and prevent shaming of others. I am so excited that Tuesday is the book release day. Starting on Fridays during spiritual advocacy and randomly at other times, I'm so happy that I will be joining a friend, a former person that helped me and my children so much, that helps mothers and children that are in the system, where we will be talking in a straightforward, brutally honest manner about things that other people don't talk about things like moms that feel somewhat abused in certain ways by words and actions of their children, not really quite understanding that we have the power within to interpret the actions of our children in their fears, in their judgments, and that when we are grounded in our truths, we can respond lovingly and stay grounded. That's one thing. The other thing is the ban shame tip sheet that will be released. A 10-phrase tip sheet that has tools, any one of which you can use. A lot of things are going to come out. These talks, this ban shame tip sheet, as well as moments where I share living the work like I just did. I'm saying hello to all of you and thanking you for being here today. Please share what part of today's sharing on Sunday Connection connected with you most. And please know you are not alone. I love you.